Greetings, namaste, Monsoon Biswakarma here, right now bringing you this wonderful Jet guitar. And this is the fourth Jet that we have brought into the studio for review purposes. Without further ado, let's go through the specs right into the Jet Guitars website here. And this model is named Jet JS-450 TGR R. And as evidently seen, it's a reverse headstock model. And I'm not too sure about this Jet headstock. I really like the previous ones that we brought here. This one to me seems, I don't know. I this is not just it's not that I don't like the reverse headstock style. I just can't get this through my head. And yeah, we digress. It has black, and again, as evidently seen, all hardwares are black. And there's locking tuners here. You get these amazing Jet branded locking tuners, and yeah, they pretty much do your job pretty nice. And the neck is Canadian roasted maple with reverse headstock. The neck shape is modern C. The fretboard is rosewood. Radius 9.5 inches, knot width 1.65 inches. The knot is a bone knot. The truss rod, as usual, double action. The string scale is 25.5 inch scale length, your typical Fender style scale length. And the body is a basswood body with flame maple top. And it does seem like a real top. They have not specified specifically here. And the pickup is an HSS setup. H meaning humbucker, the S meaning single coils. And this one is a rail neck pickup. It is a humbucker housed inside a single coil sized body. And it's rails, so it's pretty boomy. You will hear it in a while too. And the bridge is a Wilkinson 2-point tremolo, which is a pretty decent tremolo. And it comes with a thick zinc block. I like the blocks being thick. And the controls, one volume, one tone, and the tapering is pretty decent for the kind of guitar it is. The hardware all black, as mentioned earlier. The color transparent green, and the screen looks pretty monstrous if you're into this kind of color. And the price, as of right now, when I'm seeing this in their website, is 395 euros. So yeah, with that aside, let's begin with the sounds. For the sounds, all of the sounds that you're hearing are from Quad Cortex going directly into the interface. What we have done is we have two different kinds of setups today. One is a slightly overdriven clean sound, where it is done with a Fender Spring Reverb amp, and paired with 210 cabinet. Yes, 210 cabinet. And another is a Plexi 100 in the bright mode, which is paired with a 412 cabinet. With the Plexi, I'll demonstrate the more distorted kind of sounds, and with the Spring Reverb, hopefully you get to hear how the guitar sounds in all its clean glory. Now, this is what I meant when I said the clean is slightly overdriven. When you roll it back to, let's say, 7 or 8, you start getting that pristine clean sound. But when you're full on 10, there's just a little bit of fizz going on at the top. We're on the neck pickup, and as you hear, it is a pretty full sounding pickup. It is a full bodied sound, and the notes come really well rounded off. Same thing on the bridge. On the second position from the bridge. You immediately hear that split in the sound. Position 3. And now position 4, right below the neck pickup. It's pretty sounding. Now let's hear the higher notes. That was on the neck. On the middle now. Same thing on position 2. On the bridge now, the full humbucker sound. So yeah, pretty straightforward for a pickup that has for a guitar that has 3 pickups, and everything is pretty well done with the guitar itself. I do have to mention that the action is a little bit high to my own taste, but yeah, you make do with what you have. Nothing a simple setup won't fix. Now let's go do some drive sounds. That was the middle pickup. I've come from neck to the 4th position and now the middle. Now this is position 2. Now on the full fat humbucker. So a well-rounded guitar, all in all. Now Let's push the drive a bit with a drive pedal in front of the amp. The amp right now is a Plexi. As I mentioned before, the neck pickup is pretty ballsy sounding and it does not lack the low end, which is why even the high note, the B string, sounded pretty bold, which I'm into. And yeah, like small appointments like matching the logo color with the guitar. I'm really digging that. And this one, I was thinking what this guitar reminded me of, and it reminds me of the Vola guitars with the reverse headstock, the super strat body, and not that it's a bad thing, but like Jet guitars have this amazing range of guitars where they are trying to sort of cater to as many players as possible, and a lot of times guitars like this may slip through the crevices because they are funky. Like yeah, it's a super strat design, but there's small funky elements that make it a really good guitar for anyone who wants to have a good guitar. And one cons that I would mention right now, I feel like the tuners on this one are a little stiff, and yeah, as I mentioned before, the action. But these are things that you can pretty much solve when you get the guitar and then you get a good setup and address these issues when you are getting the guitar. Besides that, I don't see a bad point anywhere in this guitar, and it does come with a 2-point tremolo, which is a pretty sturdy one. It comes with this big fat jink block, and if you're not into too much tremolo movements, you can always add on a spring behind on the block, and you can pretty much have a stable tremolo experience, bridge experience. So now let's do some crazy stuff. And that was the Plexi with a good amount of delays. Like there were three delays that were switched on and a modulation. And the reason I wanted you to hear that was I wanted to show you that these pickups do really hold well. Like they cut through the mix when you need them to, and they are pretty decent to take on a gig, record with. And by now, this is the fourth guitar that I have tried from Z Guitars, and it might sound redundant when I'm keep saying the same when I keep saying the same thing. But yeah, they really make good guitars, you know. And any problems that I have mentioned, like the stiff tuning pegs or the accent, these are issues that you can have with any guitars for that matter, like any high range guitars, any mid range guitars. And when we're talking about jet guitars, they are pretty budget guitars, and for them to have these kind of issues, it's not a big deal. At least I don't feel like it's a big deal. And when you get your guitar in context of Nepal, when you go to deep music and get this guitar, you can always ask for a good setup from the guys in deep music. They are pretty chill, pretty cool to work with. And yeah, I really don't know what else to say. Like after four guitars, you pretty much start running out of words. And in my personal experience, I'm not uh, a heavy strat kind of player. I don't make much tremolo uses in my playing. I'm not into much of single coil sounds with my guitar in the band, but I do enjoy single coils when I'm alone, when I'm songwriting, and for all those purposes, this guitar pretty much covers all the bases that I need to. And as we go out, now let's hear some more cleans. Usually with strat sounds, like you really need a decent bridge pickup, a decent neck pickup, but all the spices that a strat style guitar offers really lies in the middle of all I mean those two pickups, like the position 4 and position 2 for this matter. I Whenever I'm playing a strat guitar, the position 2 and 4 are the ones that I check immediately to sort of see if I vibe in with it. And I must say, on this guitar, the position 4 is really something. Like you can really hear that chime. And now let's go to position 2. Same thing. So yeah, like a great guitar to try. So if you're around deep music in Nepal, definitely give them a try. Get into the store, check them out. And if I have to rate this guitar, now rating this guitar is pretty tricky. This is the fourth guitar, and if I have to be honest, my favorite is still the Telecaster one with the single coil here and the humbucker on the neck within all the guitars that we have tried yet. And there are more to see, and we will see them together. But within the four guitars, if I really have to rate this one, I don't know. Like, I really have this neutral feeling with this guitar. Like, it has not really pushed me into this land of overjoyed inspirations and motivations to do something new. But at this point of time where I have a good amount of guitars myself, coming across a guitar that really plays well and does its job nice, that's good enough. Like, and this does it. So yeah, if I had to rate it now, this one does. Uh, right now, this one does have a higher accent, and just like I mentioned, I feel the tuning pegs are a little stiff. So I think this is the first jet guitar that I'm going to have to rate 7. If those two things were done well, I don't know, like, this could have easily been an 8. The other thing, and this has been a repeating theme for me, I'm not into these pickups. Like, I get what they are trying to do and I get the kind of sounds that they want to get out of it. But for me, I think uh, I would definitely prefer Alnicos over ceramics. But that being said, if you're into metal, like, this can pretty much nail it down pretty well. So to prove that point, let's do some high gain sounds. And I'm reminded of Iron Maiden whenever I see guitars like this. So yeah, classic metal, and it does it pretty well. And I no longer have anything to show you. The knobs were the knobs are pretty nice working. The tone knob reacts pretty good. So when you go full down on the tone knob, you sort of get that cocked wah kind of sound, which I really like. So yeah, what else could you ask for? It's a complete package. It's a great looking guitar, and if you are into reverse headstock, cheers to you. Like, a classic shredder, yes it is. So yeah, I've been Monsoon. You have been great, and this guitar has been an enjoyable experience. It does come with a soft shell carry bag, which is a pretty good bag. I carried it recently to my home from studio, and it was raining, and the rain did not really get into the guitar. So yeah, pretty appreciating point for guitar cases. And it does come with a cable. All the other jet guitars came with this a cable. There's 3 Allen screws, one for your bridge and another for your neck, and one, I guess it's for the 2 point in the tremolo to adjust that. And it does come with a tremolo arm, and I don't know why I did not use it in the video, but if you, for what it's worth, you can hear it now. It's pretty sensitive, and yeah, this is me telling you goodbye for the second time. Really digging Jet guitars so far. I hope you do too. Monsoon out.